So as we get older, we tend to stop valuing growing our network just because we end up getting very busy with our families, with our work, with the things that we're expected to do, our responsibilities. And I think this is something that's actually affecting society pretty deeply, in the sense that by virtue of not constantly expanding one's network, we are kind of hemmed in our thoughts. Now, there is something to be said about having close friends or close family that you're constantly in touch with and deeply invested in. They can provide an immense therapy for you, and they might need you to alleviate some of their tensions and some of their anxieties. And having a deeper bond allows that to happen a little bit easier. However, there are very many circumstances that I've heard of or in my personal life where I talk to a stranger about something and they just happen to say something a way that I have never heard before, or just by virtue of them being who they are, the message comes across slightly differently, and something that something that I should have heard from someone very close to me that was telling me for a while, I just didn't. I didn't understand their message. And these strangers happened to change my mind drastically. So I think it's very important to continue to expand your network. In a business sense, if you intend to have a side hustle on top of your main career, networking is almost everything, in my opinion. You get tremendous different ideas, different opportunities from networking. So why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this to convince you that there are a lot of really easy ways to expand your network. And I think a lot of people, especially in the United States, use social media as a place to get lost rather than socializing. And I don't mean sending memes to one another. I don't think that sending videos or music necessarily is all that social. I think having conversations and having experiences with people is probably more beneficial to the human soul. So social media in general can be very powerful. There are some caveats. You should be probably pretty certain about who you are as a person before you go into that realm, so that other people don't affect you and hurt you in ways that could be avoided. There's a lot of distractions. If you are posting things and you're on social media for a long time, you're probably not doing some of the important things that you should be doing, or at least even thinking about what you should be doing. However, if you get your soul and your ideologies under wrap, and you get a purpose that requires you to have a large network, then social media is incredible. Mainly because if someone sees you, they have the option of forming an opinion. If you are not seen, you don't exist. So for all my creatives and artists out there watching, it is just as important to build up your presence online in the real world as it is to create your artwork. I would say hand in hand, equal parts. And for my business owners and people who are trying to push certain initiatives, social media is essential. Daily, if not maybe 3 times a week, you should try to post something. Keep people up to date on what you're doing. I say this for your financial benefit, but I also say this for your personal benefit. I think complacency often comes down to a lack of external stimulus. And as we get into our working lives, that external stimulus is moderated a lot more severely, mainly because of our lack of time. But if you have things that are constantly allowing you to form new human connection, maybe a Snapchat or an Instagram or going on a forum, any sort of community that you're building or are a part of, I promise you, over time, there's gonna be tremendous dividends. So food for thought. Networking in general, in my opinion, should be a lifelong thing. Do not ever think to yourself that because I've achieved X thing or because I have reached X status, that I don't need to meet new people. A wise man once said to me, get into people, Tarab. Get really into people. Only recently have I begun to understand the significance of what he was saying. It was a life lesson. So try it out, my friends. Go out, whatever you can do. Expand your network as much as possible. Expand your horizons. It will be for your benefit, I believe. Let me know what you think. Take care.